The National Electrical Code, or NEC, allows the practice of installing cables in concrete trenches within electrical rooms, provided certain conditions are met. These conditions primarily involve adhering to specific requirements for cable gauge, trench dimensions, and other safety considerations. NEC Article 300.22 addresses wiring in ducts, plenums, and other environmental airspaces. While this article doesn't specifically target concrete trenches, it provides a framework for ensuring that wiring methods used in enclosed spaces are suitable and safe. Since a concrete trench can be considered an enclosed space, the principles outlined in Article 300.22 can be relevant. A key element to consider is that cables installed in trenches shall not be smaller than a 14 American wire gauge or AWG, according to NEC Article 392.20. This requirement ensures that the cables have sufficient mechanical strength and current carrying capacity for the intended application. As for trench dimensions, NEC Article 392.20 specifies that the minimum trench cross-section for one cable must be 6 inches or 152 mm wide and 6 inches or 152 mm deep. For each additional cable installed in the trench, the width must be increased by at least 6 inches or 152 mm. These dimensions provide adequate space for cable installation, heat dissipation, and future maintenance. Besides cable gauge and trench dimensions, several other considerations are crucial. Firstly, the cables must be protected from physical damage by a cable tray or similar means. This protection prevents damage from impacts, abrasion, and other mechanical stresses. Secondly, adequate ventilation is essential to prevent overheating of the cables. Overheating can lead to insulation breakdown, reduced cable lifespan, and even fire hazards. Thirdly, water accumulation within the trench must be prevented. Water can corrode the cables and create electrical hazards. Proper drainage and sealing are necessary to avoid water buildup. Fourthly, the trench must be accessible for future maintenance and inspection. This accessibility ensures that electricians can easily inspect and repair the cables as needed. Regarding cable types suitable for trench installations, several options are available, including Type MC cable, which stands for metal-clad cable, which is a factory-assembled cable consisting of one or more insulated conductors enclosed in a metallic sheath of interlocking tape or a smooth or corrugated metallic tube. It is suitable for direct burial and use in cable trays. Type TC cable, or tray cable, is a factory-assembled cable consisting of insulated conductors under a non-metallic jacket approved for use in cable trays. Type use cable, or underground service entrance cable, is suitable for direct burial in the earth. It consists of insulated conductors and a moisture-resistant covering. When selecting a cable type, factors such as voltage rating, insulation type, and environmental conditions must be considered. The NEC provides detailed specifications for each cable type, ensuring that the selected cable is appropriate for the intended application. NEC Article 310.15 and associated tables provide guidance on determining the ampacity of conductors. The ampacity of a conductor is the maximum current, in amps, that it can carry continuously under specified conditions of use without exceeding its temperature rating. Several factors influence ampacity, including conductor size, insulation type, ambient temperature, and the number of conductors in a raceway or cable. The NEC provides ampacity tables for various conductor types and installation conditions. When using these tables, it is crucial to apply correction factors for ambient temperature and the number of conductors in a raceway or cable. For example, if the ambient temperature is higher than the temperature listed in the table, a correction factor must be applied to reduce the ampacity. Similarly, if more than 3 current-carrying conductors are installed in a raceway or cable, a derating factor must be applied. These correction and derating factors ensure that the conductors do not overheat and that the insulation does not break down. Proper grounding and bonding are essential for electrical safety. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker or fuse and energizing the circuit. Bonding ensures that all metal parts of the electrical system are electrically connected, reducing the risk of electric shock. NEC Article 250 provides detailed requirements for grounding and bonding. These requirements include the size of the grounding electrode conductor, the type of grounding electrodes, and the methods for bonding metal parts. Proper grounding and bonding are critical for protecting people and equipment from electrical hazards. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect conductors and equipment from overloads and short circuits. Overloads occur when the current in a circuit exceeds the rated ampacity of the conductors. Short circuits occur when there is a direct connection between two conductors with different potentials. NEC Article 240 provides requirements for overcurrent protection. These requirements include the selection of the appropriate size and type of overcurrent protection device. The overcurrent protection device must be sized to protect the conductors from overloads and short circuits. It must also be of a type that is suitable for the intended application. For example, circuit breakers are typically used in residential and commercial applications, while fuses are often used in industrial applications. Regular inspection and maintenance are essential for ensuring the continued safety and reliability of electrical systems. Inspection should be performed by qualified electricians who can identify potential hazards and recommend corrective actions. Maintenance should include tasks such as tightening connections, cleaning equipment, and replacing worn or damaged components. NEC Article 110.3 provides general requirements for electrical equipment. This article states that equipment must be installed and used in accordance with its listing or labeling. It also states that equipment must be maintained in a safe and proper operating condition. Compliance with NEC standards is essential for ensuring electrical safety. The NEC is a comprehensive set of standards that covers all aspects of electrical installations. By following the NEC, electricians can ensure that their work is safe and compliant with industry best practices. Remember that local codes may impose additional requirements or limitations not covered by the NEC. It is always essential to consult with local authorities to ensure compliance with all applicable regulations. Always consult with qualified electrical engineers and local authorities to ensure that your electrical installations meet all applicable codes and standards. This ensures safety, reliability, and compliance.